Hello, my name is Jim Roberts. I'm host of Senior Living in Alexandria. This is a program that we put together every month. This is the month of April. We're in springtime. I wore my flowered tie just for that occasion. We've had a tough winter in Alexandria, but we're coming out of it nicely and looking forward to springtime and then into summer. We have a special guest tonight. We're here today with Bonnie Moore, and she's the president and founder of Golden Girls Network. This is a very interesting organization in terms of its concept, and we're going to learn a lot about that. So, Bonnie, it's really good to have you here with us, and look forward to learning a little bit more about that. This is for our viewers. Who we have with us will be seniors, but also their family and friends that want to know, and so I think some of the services that you provide will be of interest to that broader audience.
Thank you for having me.
Without further ado, let's find out what Golden Girls Network is. I hearken back to the Golden Girls TV show. Is there possibly a connection?
No, we just took their name.
Oh, I see. Did they say that it was all right to take their name?
We actually did some research on it, and Golden Girls is in the public domain now.
So when you took it, what is Golden Girls Network?
It's a roommate matching system for mature adults.
Okay.
The idea is that many mature people end up single for some reason or another, and living alone as you age in place is not always fun, and there are many reasons why it's economical and useful to have a roommate.
Okay. So so basically you have to find places where people would be willing to share space, and you need to find people that are willing to go into that kind of an arrangement.
Yes, we match them up.
Okay. There's a lot of different models for, aging in places is a current idea, and it's very popular. It makes common sense. How are you different than some of the other approaches to that?
What we are promoting is the idea of seniors living together, sharing a home, not necessarily related people, but matching up people who are about the same age, or where they can create some companionship. Companionship is one of the big issues with aging people. You live alone, you start to get depressed, it's difficult, it's hard to get the housework done, and there's a loneliness factor. And by matching people up and creating someone else living with you, it diminishes the loneliness.
What criteria do you have, or how do you find homeowners, people that have space? What do you hunt for there, and how would they learn about this?
They contact us. We don't
Okay.
contact people. We are doing a lot of promotional work. If somebody is interested in finding a roommate, and many of the people who sign up with us, we have about 400 people now, but many of the people who sign up with us are like I was when I first got started, someone who has divorced and ended up with the house, and so she's house rich and cash poor. And so you put two people together and you share the expense and you create the companionship.
So how do people find out the potential to share their house? How do they learn about you to understand that may be something they never thought about, but really is something that they'd be interested in?
Well, actually, I teach a conference call class. People who are interested in the idea, they're not quite ready to do it. They don't know how to get started. So I actually wrote a book called How to Start a Golden Girls Home. I teach a conference call class every month, and I have people from all over the country who sign up for my conference call class. And we always have unique situations, and people have questions that they need answered.
Is that on a regular scheduled basis, or as you get enough people, how do you organize the information sessions?
It's scheduled every month, and you can sign up for the classes through our website.
Is that on video or audio or both, or
No.
conference, telephone?
Yeah, it's conference call.
Okay.
At some point we may do that, but what happens is people always have something unique questions that they have. And so right now it seems more important to be able to converse with somebody and answer their questions and get them started in the right direction.
Do they learn about that word of mouth, that one person sits in and says, this is really something my friend should sit in on, and they can come in the next month?
Yeah.
Is that the main way, or do you have promotional activities?
We're doing a lot of promotional work.
Okay.
And we have a very active Facebook page, and we get a lot of referrals on the Facebook page.
What are some of the criteria that you use in finding out if that housing situation is appropriate or of interest? What if I were a homeowner and I said I'm interested in this, what kinds of questions would you ask me to find out if I were qualified, or if this is something that I ought to be able to do?
Well, you would make that decision for yourself. We don't select you. You decide you want to do it. You sign up as a homeowner. The best thing to do is to read the book or take a class.
Okay.
Sometimes people take the class and then decide they don't want to do it. It's too much work.
Okay.
Sometimes people take the class and their questions get resolved and they're ready to move on. So that transition period is important for you to make the decision that you want to do this.
So if I use your guidance either by book or by the conference call, I'm going to be able to know enough to make my decision whether I'd be a suitable housemate or I don't want to use the word landlord or tenant, but would be a host. Homeowner. Okay.
Yeah, we usually call them homeowners.
Okay.
Yes, and part of the book has information about deciding what kind of roommate you're looking for, interview questions. Another thing that we really recommend is house agreements, and so we talk about writing your house agreements, understanding what it is that's important to you about your house and how you want to run things.
Okay.
And what kind of person you're looking for as a roommate.
Sit tight and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Marianne.
Hi, thanks for being here, and thanks again for cooking with us.
My pleasure.
So I think the vegetable or fruit, I guess beets are a vegetable, right?
Yep, they sure
Yeah.
are. They're a tuber, and
Yeah.
they're one of the more ancient tubers eaten around the world, especially in the in northern or eastern Europe.
Okay,
Yep.
so beets are going to be our focus today, and tell us about the different kinds of beets, because I only know about the red ones.
Yep,
but
and the red ones are what most people are used to, and this is just a raw red beet, which is really great raw. You should try them raw sometime. They're really, any vegetable that you eat cooked, you can probably eat raw. So these will taste wonderful raw. Red beets. Then we also have yellow beets, which have that same flavor. They're a little bit milder, but again, a beautiful earthy flavor to them. And the one I love the most is called a candy cane beet or a striped beet.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful that is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a hybrid of the yellow and the red beet.
huh.
But it's a beautiful beet for salads and for cold
Oh,
presentations.
yeah, absolutely.
So today I wanted to make something that's very near to my heart, and that is a potato and beet soup,
Oh.
or AKA, most people know them as borscht.
Oh,
And
nice.
you know, in Eastern Europe, there are all kinds of versions of fresh borscht. We're going to make a real simple one that everyone can make at home.
Oh, wonderful. Let's get started.
Yep. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of butter. I'm going to cut that and put some butter in the pan. And to the butter, I've got it really hot so it's browning nice. I'm going to add some caraway seeds.
Okay.
And the hot pan and the butter is
I
going to
smell
really
that.
bring
Oh,
out
yeah.
the fresh caraway flavor.
Oh, yeah, that smells
So I just
good.
put it off the heat and allow that to just simmer there, and you can smell the caraway coming
I
out.
sure can.
And as simple as it is now, I'm going to add about a pound of potatoes.
What kind of potatoes do you recommend?
These are just regular potatoes.
Okay.
Regular russet potatoes.
Russet potatoes, okay.
I'm going to add the red beets, and I'm going to add all these beets. You can mix them up, or you can just use the red or whatever you have available in the grocery store.
Oh, I love these.
Aren't those great?
Are these readily available?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
okay.
just need to look for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I've got the beets inside. And then I'm going to add some vegetable stock, my trusty veggie stock. I cover that, and we let that simmer until the beets are tender and the potatoes are tender.
Okay.
And the good thing about that is it's basically simple and done. And all we do then is blend it. So while that's cooking, and just for time, we're going to show you how to put together the vegetables to finish the soup.
Okay. And how long do you have to cook the soup? What would you say?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, another easy recipe.
Yep. And then I've got a little bit more butter.
Oh, love butter.
And in this pan, I'm going to add some carrot, some onions and celery. I'm going to saute that really good, and I'm going to add some red cabbage.
Oh, that'll be nice. Oh, wow.
And that's going to just saute real nice. Again, as we talked about with the tomato soup, we're going to let that sweat down, so the flavors are really released. And while that's cooking, I'm going to put a little bit of tomato paste into the soup.
Now, how do you decide whether you cook your veggies in oil or butter? Is there any rule of thumb or?
Really, no.
Yeah.
The only reason I use butter in this one is because it's kind of a European thing, and that's more traditional.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be on a healthier side, by all means, oil is just fine. A little bit of oil.
All right. Okay.
And again, we didn't use that much butter.
Right.
So really, we're making about, almost a little over 2 quarts of soup, and all I have in there is maybe 4 ounces of butter.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it's just a little bit.
I love butter, but I.
So I've got the vegetables sauteing. And so again, once the vegetables are cooked, we're going to puree them, add them back to my sauteed vegetables.
Okay.
And what that's going to give us is this wonderful soup right here.
Oh boy. Oh, that's nice.
Look at that beautiful
Oh,
red
that is
red
really
color, red
very
flavor.
nice. Yes. Yes.
Let me show you.
Yes. Oh yeah. So
So
once you've sautéed, mixed, put it in the blender. This is your. You put it back in a pan and then sauté it a little bit.
You put the beet and potato mixture that's blended back in with the other vegetables that is sautéed.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Yep.
That is really nice. Very nice. Oh,
So
boy.
let's plate that up. I'll show you what
yes,
that's going to look
please
like, how we're
do.
going to plate this up.
Okay. You always make things look so nice.
Well, this is going to look great. Got my soup. Kind of a little bit of sour cream inside.
Oh, yes. Oh, yum.
And some fresh herbs.
Oh,
Just a
boy.
sprinkle of fresh dill.
Dill? Okay.
I'm only using is fresh dill.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Marianne, you've got to try that. That's
yes,
going to be
I'm
great.
going to try that. Oh, goodness. All righty here. Oh, that is really good. Oh, that's very fresh, and I like that. There's a little zing to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's
It's
wonderful.
got a nice earthy flavor
yes,
to
it does. Well, thank you again for joining us. And
Certainly.
oh, we'll just bon appetit. This
Bon
is always
appetit.
so fun.
Enjoy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Beatty. I'm with Senior Services of Alexandria. I'm here with DC Dan of the city's Division on Aging and Adult Services. Welcome to our show.
Great, thank you.
DC is going to talk about National Healthcare Decision Day, which is taking place on April 16th. Can you give us a little bit of information about that?
Sure. National Healthcare Decision Day is an initiative to increase public awareness about the importance of planning ahead regarding their healthcare decisions in the event that they are unable to speak for themselves.
Okay, and so what does that entail?
Usually that will entail a living will, a power of attorney, or a advance directives.
Alrighty, so it's important that people get these documents in place before they become sick or unable to do that for themselves.
Exactly, yep.
And where would they find out more information about this and the documents that they need?
They can also find this document and other free tools at the website www.nhdd.gov, and there's a breakdown of available tools and sources and more information available there.
Oh, great. And Senior Services will have these documents available at its April speaker series, which is taking place on April 15th at Bethel Hebrew Congregation on Seminary Road. Registration starts at 9:30, and the program will start at 10, and it's on Aging in Place, and we hope to see you there. Thank you very much for being on our show and for giving us such important information.
Right, thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Mary Lee Anderson, Executive Director of Senior Services of Alexandria, and I'm here to tell you what's happening in Alexandria for seniors in the month of April this year. There's a lot of really fun events that I'm sure you're going to be interested in hearing about. The first happens on Friday, April the 10th, and it's a wonderful intergenerational activity called the Dance for All Ages. The T.C. Williams High School Leadership Crew gets together and they put on this year a dance that's focused on Hollywood and the red carpet theme. So all these seniors can get all dolled up and come out and dance with the teenagers, enjoy free food, live DJ, dancing. It's just a very fun evening over at T.C. Williams High School. So there's plenty of free parking. It runs from 7 o'clock in the evening till 9 o'clock on Friday, April the 10th. And I've enjoyed going to it for several years now, so I hope that you'll come and join us. You can give our office the call if you're interested in making a reservation so that we know how much food to have. Our number is 703-836-4414. The next fun thing that's coming up is an activity that's sponsored by Senior Services, and that is a speaker series event that will be held at Bethel Hebrew Congregation on Wednesday, April the 15th. The focus of the discussion will be aging in place, and we have local experts that will be talking about some innovative techniques for staying in your home and how you can make sure that you personally are safe and comfortable there. We'll be hearing from Goodwin House Alexandria about a new program that they have that allows you to stay in your home, but avail yourself of the services of Goodwin House, which is a wonderful, long-standing institution in our community. Then we'll also have the local representatives from the Division of Aging and Adult Services telling you about city-sponsored services that are available for seniors, and there are a lot of them, so it's going to be a wealth of information. And finally, we'll have a nice video from a woman who has set up a new program called the Golden Girls Network that talks about an interesting way to share your home or to find someone who's looking for someone to share their home and share expenses and make life simpler for everybody. So if you're interested in coming to that, it is again on Wednesday, April the 15th at Bethel Hebrew Congregation from 9:30 till noon, and you can call our office at 703-836-4414 to make a reservation. The next day, April the 16th, Burke Library is hosting what sounds to be a really interesting evening from 7 till 9. There's going to be an expert from the Virginia Cooperative Extension, and the topic is really intriguing. It's who gets grandmother's yellow pie plate. And from what I understand, they'll be talking about how to set up the decisions and make decisions about who's going to be getting what when you're no longer around, and to make that easier for everyone in your family so that people know what your intentions are and that you don't create any unnecessary conflict in your family. So that is on, as I said, April the 16th from 7 to 9 in the evening, and you can go to the library's website, and that will be on the screen in front of me telling you how to find out more about that event. The final thing that I want to tell you about is on Wednesday, April the 29th. And this is for those of you that are ready for springtime and ready to get outside and be fit. We're having the second robust walkathon at Ben Brenman Park. It'll be in the morning starting at 9:30, and we're going to be hearing from Dr. Dan Cooland about a wonderful interactive way to walk in the environment that gets your heartbeat up, but is also a safe and easy way to get fit. And we'll have experts at different stations throughout the park, which is a beautiful location. If you haven't been there before, it is a really nice place to go. And again, you can register for that through our website at www.seniorservicesalex.org. That does have a $10 registration fee. It helps fund some of the programs that the Successful Aging Committee puts on throughout the year. And you can also get people to sponsor you. So if you're going to walk, you can get people that maybe will come out and cheer for you, or maybe help contribute to these wonderful programs that the Successful Aging Committee organizes. So those are just a few of the things that are happening in Alexandria in April, and I hope to see many of you at one of them or more. Thanks very much for checking in with us.
We're back. I'm sitting here with Bonnie Moore, who's president and founder of Golden Girls Network, and we're discussing the idea of shared housing. We've covered already what it takes to be a homeowner host, but now I'm curious to find out from you, how do you find out about being a housemate, a tenant of such kind of facility, and what kinds of concerns or issues do you look for there?
Again, if somebody is interested in living this lifestyle, they will contact us and they will sign up as a roommate. And
Okay.
so the website works very much like Match.com. These two people can communicate with each other, and we encourage them to meet if they feel like it's an appropriate match, and to go through the interview process. And so the two individuals make the decision. We don't make the decision for them. We trust each of them to decide whether or not it's a situation that's going to work.
So all those roommate issues that you may have had all your life emerge in adult form. And so, for example, who cleans the kitchen sink? How do you do the household maintenance? How do you split the bills? Who cooks? What about visitors? All of those working. Do you smoke? All those issues are
Pets.
something and pets, a big one. Those are issues they basically, once you've done an effective introduction and given them the knowledge of how to go about doing this, maybe more in terms of legal structure or more the formal relationships, they then are the ones that explore the relationship.
Yes.
And make the decision, this could be a roommate, this could work, we can work this out, these are the kind of rules that we agree to. Is that kind
Yes.
of the way it works?
Yeah, when they sign up, they actually fill out a questionnaire. So you're not going into this blind. They fill out a questionnaire, smoking, pets, and they have a place where they can describe who they are on both sides. And so they know something about each other before they ever meet. And then in the class, we talk about these kinds of things. Chapter 2, in fact, talks about the most important thing is you have to decide who you're looking for and what your deal breakers are and the other things that you need to consider. So once you work that out, it makes it much easier for you to select somebody.
When you do this, when this training or this exchange of information is going on, is there instant success, or is the predominant number of matches, are they able to work out an arrangement, or do they have to kind of go through a number of relationships and see one that's going to be their best fit?
Generally, by the time you get through the initial interview, you know whether or not the person is going to fit.
Okay.
I have a woman that I've been working with who was one of our featured homes last August, and she had a very nice big house, and she was recently divorced, and she wanted to find 2 roommates. She found her first roommate in November, and she is now interviewing her second roommate.
Okay.
And I think it's something that's going to work. I'm not making her decision for her, but the roommate lady contacted me, and I talked to her and kind of got a sense of who she was, and I said, well, we've got several people here in this town. Why don't you go on the website and look at them and decide which one you think would work? And she chose this woman, and so they're interviewing this week, and we'll see what happens.
I think this is interesting because, yes, at bottom it's a business relationship, an economic relationship, but I think it's really imperative that they have that dialogue. I mean, it'd be an unhappy situation if they found an inappropriate roommate that wasn't compatible, and I think they need to it sounds like with your coaching or your guidance, they're taking the time they need to, is this really something I want to do? And work through these issues.
And the woman I'm talking about, she got her first roommate in November, and they actually had to work through some issues. It's working out much better now. But, you know, what I always tell people is the first month is always great, like the honeymoon. The second month is when you start seeing the issues. And if you can get past the second month, you're going to do fine. Because, you know, you're different personalities, you don't know each other, you come together for various and sundry reasons, and then you start developing some companionship.
Let me look at this. You're doing this as a business, and so as I understand it, you're what you've had less than a year doing this, but you've had some success and have some completed models that people can look at to kick the tires and see what happened. But what's your rollout? How, I understand you're going to do regional affiliates as well as the promotional part you do. Is that part of it? And then what's the pricing or the cost consideration that's involved?
Well, the cost, it's $39 for a 6-month membership.
Oh, okay. That seems very reasonable.
Yes.
You pay more for the country club or the health club.
That's right. So you have 6 months to search for somebody, and yes, my sense is that we need the publicity and the national attention, but we also need somebody on the ground, if you will. And so the regional directors are going to have meetup groups, and they will bring people together once a month for conversation about shared living.
That'll complement the conference calls?
Yes.
That you can meet with a real person that's had working experience in doing this. Okay.
Yes, so the first, our first regional director is in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and we're launching that at the end of April. And the next week we're going to Florida to launch the Florida regional director.
Okay. That's very exciting. I think that, are there others that have a Match.com with a housing component to it that you know of? Or I mean, I think there's a place in the marketplace for that.
There are some people on a regional basis trying to do this. What I believe will make it successful is volume. We need to have enough people. The other thing that makes this very interesting is I've had people, for instance, in California who decide they want to move to Florida, so they can simply go online and find somebody in Florida, communicate with them. So one of the values in being nationwide is people can find locations in other places.
Well, I think you've got a very exciting vision. How would people, you have a website?
Yes.
Would you mind telling the folks how they can come in and learn more about this?
The website is goldengirlsnetwork.com.
It's easy to remember. If
Yeah.
anybody saw the TV show, and I think we who are boomers
Yes.
know that show very well. I think that's a good name for it. Well, that's very exciting, and I'm sure that our viewers would be interested in getting a phone number. I forgot to ask, just in case.
The office phone number is 301-383-1482.
Okay. Well, this has been a great conversation. Thanks, Bonnie, and I look forward at some point hearing your future success. I
thank you.
think you're onto
Yeah.
something good for the seniors that all of us are trying to serve. That wraps up another segment of Senior Living in Alexandria. Bonnie Moore of Golden Girls Network has been with us, and we've been pleased to hear from her. Enjoy this weather, roll around in the grass, and enjoy the fresh air. See you next month. Thank you.